G'day everyone. Just a quick little, promo on a particular kit that is something that I've been supporting for a couple of years now. It is out of a company called HSP. There's a couple of different versions in their kits that they offer. Now, over quite a fair few years, HSP has been very much maligned as being a really crap cheap brand. Parts are cheap, cars are cheap, but they're cheap for a reason, because they really don't stand up to any sort of harsh abuse or that type of stuff, and their materials and quality was pretty much how's your father for a while, and it did damage the brand in the way of stores wanted to carry it and promote it, because there was just no use trying to sell a brand that always had issues and problems and that type of shit. Now, as time goes by, as you know, there is I thought there was someone at the door. Time goes by, there is updates and improvements on design, on everything, and it happens with any brand regardless of what it may be. It happened with a couple of speed control brands where they were really crap eBay specials that just did not work, and now they're fantastic. Car brands as well, model kits and plastics and all that type of stuff. Now with HSP, what's happened in the last maybe 18 months, their quality and their presentation on the kits that they're offering now, which is their next level of kits, is awesome. Better quality materials, better thinking in manufacturing, better engineering on the cars in both tool drive, four-wheel drive, buggy, truggy, and all that type of stuff. Now, the two that I tend to get the most call for, and it's good for kids, just in backyard. The brushed versions are not stupid fast, which means you can take it in the backyard and drive around. You don't have to be an expert to try and enjoy it. Mums and dads are happy with the pricing, because you're not forking out hundreds and hundreds of dollars and you've got to go to a local park or something like that, because you can't at the moment. We're all stuck still in this lockdown. But the good thing about it is that parents can get the kids out in the backyard, if you've got a big enough backyard, and have a fang around, whether it be the truck or the buggy. And that's in the brush versions. There is also the brushless versions, which are faster and a lot less maintenance, and all it comes down to is a bigger backyard or a local park without any sort of hesitation. Get the kids out, get them to enjoy it instead of sitting around the house inside and basically playing video games. Hey, no problem with video games, but realistically, get kids out of the house, and a good, decent, cheap RC car is the best way to go about it. Aircraft flying is another scenario we'll go in later, but they can and especially if you actually get the cars that are nickel metal, battery setup, which is a lot easier for kids to actually manipulate. They don't have to worry about LipO problems, and you've got to look after LipOs. It's as simple as that. You can't just take a LipO, charge it, chuck it in, expect, and leave it to go. They will bite you in the bum. But nickel metal, abuse the crap out of them, they're fine. Now this one is the I'll take it out of the box. It's not an unboxing, everyone knows what it is. This is the tool drive buggy. I'll put the camera down so you can see it a bit better. This is the two-wheel drive buggy called the Mongoose. I'll move that down a little bit. There we go. That is the two-wheel drive Mongoose buggy. This comes in both brushed and brushless. I keep the brushed versions because they're really cheap. They're about $2.29 posted, freighted, whatever, available online. If I'm out of stock, it takes roughly about 2 days at the moment to get anything from any supplier. It's not something that's overnight, unfortunately, so if you're a bit impatient, you will suffer. I'll run through the car really quick so it gives you an idea. I like the quality of these, and they do make it a lot more palatable for parents to pretty much buy and let kids be on their own device to go and play. Now, this is the wing. It's not plastic, how would you call it? PET material. Otherwise, it's a molded hard plastic wing. You can twist it, you can do whatever you like with it. It will not break. It might deform a little bit, get a heat gun to it. If it's deformed, it will spring back to its shape. That is a brilliant idea. You're not spending wings. You're not spending money on buying new wings. And the depth on the back is immense. You can cut it down if you want to get a little bit more steering out of it. The body is a pre-printed PET material. It's not polycarbonate by any stretch of imagination. A real bad omen is don't reef it off the car. In other words, use all force to take it off. Just lift it up, because if they crack, they keep cracking. But that's pre-painted in a couple of colours. This is the blue version. That's nice. I like that. It's not too bad. Okay, but that's literally supplied as it is. They're cheap as. But you're not going to break it. That's the car. Now, the good thing about this is it's ready to run out of the box in either brushed or brushless. Brushless is faster. Nickel metal pack, 2000 mAh. The radio is a FlySky, 2 GB or that type of scenario. Radios are reliable, really reliable. Spare receivers, if you need them, easily available. Speed controllers, best part of them, they're cheap as. You can run nickel metal or LipO in this by manipulating the little plug setup that's here. You can set it so you can actually run nickel metal or LipO. So you can get a LipO to run into this, or you can leave it at nickel metal. Now, the best suggestion I have for these, because they're preset on nickel metal, is take the plug out and put it into LipO. What it does is it's got a higher cutoff. Pardon me. It's got a higher cutoff, so you will always tend to cut off at dead on 6 volts instead of 0 volts, which prolongs the life of the battery, whether it be nickel metal, whether it be LipO. Better idea. So change the little jumper plug to LipO, so you can run both LipO and nickel metal, and you don't have to keep changing if you do change that to a LipO. Best thing of all, they're waterproof. Best thing of all, if you do something dumb like cross, you can't, because it's polarity protected on the plug itself. You can't change the plug around. They're only about 60 bucks brand new. Best thing of it. Motors, just a very basic, I think it's about a 21 turn motor. Brushed, these are unfortunately throwaway motors. So if they finally wear out, and it's going to take over 6 to 8 months to wear these things out, because the brushes on these are so hard, that'll last you about 6 to 8 months before you have to think about changing the motor. Now, the motors, best thing about on the motors is 20 bucks, roughly about 20 bucks if you need to change it. Rims and tires, nothing special, just things like, what would you call them, pinpoints, or not little square knobbies. They will be great for hard packed dirt, tarmac, that type of stuff. On grass, it's going to slide. You can change the tires. You can get different tires on it to suit grass. Same as the front. Fronts are just very basic ribs. They will last and last and last. They don't wear out. The car is robust. The materials are robust, flexible, and not brittle. Not brittle that they'll break. I've kept parts for these on tap continuously since I've been offering them as an alternative to the higher end stuff. Haven't sold any parts yet. Disappointing, because I've got stacks of parts. Even the wing, haven't sold the wing, but really good. Click on, click off adjusters for your caster camber and your drive links. If they break, click it on. Haven't sold those as yet. Arms, haven't sold arms. Don't try and hit it into things to prove a point that they do break, because things will break. But for what it is, great value for money for kids in the backyard. The suspension actually works better than I anticipated it would. There's been issues that I've had to correct for customers with suspension out of some kits, where it's just not working. It's not pliable, it's crap as. But these are really nice. In the factory, out of the factory, set up as it is, just chuck it on the grass, go play it and put little jumps up and go enjoy it. By all means, get the kids out of the house. But for what it is and what you pay for these days, the engineering on this is brilliant. Everything on it is nice, really nice compared to the older versions. And as I said at the start of this, the old versions were very much maligned with bad quality materials. engineering, nothing fitted well, nothing worked well. It was a pain in the ass, it was a blight, and they had a really bad reputation. But these now, I think, because HSP are actually doing a lot of OEM, they had to lift their game, which they did, and their game is brilliant. No, I have no qualms in offering these things now when the call comes in of something that's cheap, reasonable, and sturdy for kids to go play in the backyard. Easy as. Look after it, clean it, a brush, and clean it at the end of the day if it gets dirty. Just a brush and some methylated spirits or something like that. Methylated spirits is denatured alcohol. It does no harm to any part of the car, but it does keep it clean if you've got to take grots or nuts and dirt out of it and mud, that type of stuff. The body is good enough to cover the electrics without anything invading the chassis. It covers it all the way around, which is pretty good. So the outside is where it's going to get dirty the most, which is your front and rear suspension and possibly the motor. Clean it, just clean it. The gearing is standard, which is really good, 48 DPI, not 06, which is a standard arrangement. You can buy gears anywhere you like. Doesn't matter what it is. If you want to put a more powerful motor in it, you're going to have to change your pinion more than anything else. And there you go. It's supplied with a radio. I'll show you what the radio is. I'll take that out of your way so you can see what I'm doing. I'll pop that there. The good thing about this is, well, it comes with a decent charger, not a crappy $2 charger that you got to change, and you've got to get something better. Just getting the charger and transmitter out. Radio. Okay, standard radio, nothing special. Fly sky, trim adjustment, endpoint adjustment, not endpoint adjustment, sorry, rates, reverse, backwards, all that type of stuff. Steering, standard AA's, buy cheap AA's. It doesn't drain power. You don't have to go out and buy Energizer, Duracell, sorry guys, but it's a waste of money. Just cheap alkaline, not heavy duties, just alkalines. And as I said before, the best part of it is the charger. It is a decent manufactured charger for this car. In the past, these were supplied with a plug-in to literally just a plug-in into the socket wall charger with a lead coming out of it, and a little light which did all of bugger all. It did not charge the battery well, it did not peak it well, it didn't look after the way it was charging it, and people always had problems that saying that their batteries failed. Batteries didn't fail, it was the actual charger. I don't have one to show you what they look like, but this is a proper peak detect charger for nickel metal batteries. Plug it in, 240 volt, plug your battery in, hit start, it will peak up. Once it hits the peak, it'll switch off. It doesn't sit there continuously trickling the battery. It does the job properly. Now, its charge rate is 2 amps, so for the battery pack that's inside the car, it'll take roughly about 45 minutes to charge. And if you set the little jumper plug on the speed controller to LipO, it'll kill it off at basically just above 6 volts, which means it'll actually be less than 45 minutes to charge. If you leave it on nickel metal, it'll go right down to 0 voltage. I don't recommend that. It proves no benefit in the long run. Put it to LipO so the cutoff is higher, let it play, it shuts off at 6 volts, takes quicker to charge, and in the long run, far better battery. Comes with a plug for adaptation. In the car, it's Dean's. Standard batteries come out with a lot of NiMh, but that allows you to charge. Lead supplied, radio supplied, pardon me, and car supplied. Average price around about $229. Delivered, awesome quality. These cars, there's the two that I keep the most common is the Mongoose, which is a two-wheel drive, and the Wolverine, which is a four-wheel drive monster truck version. Looks awesome. I'll put some pictures up here or here. as you're reading this, and a link to the site. Have a look at it. Consider something for your kids to play around outside. Little ramps, dirt, grass, whatever you want. Keeps them entertained. Extra batteries start at $29 and go up to about $49 for the bigger capacity. It just means longer runtime. Get them out of the house. Just get them out of the house. Get them in, it's getting spring, summertime. Awesome play around. Local park, backyard, best thing you can do. All right, take care, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Have fun. Links will be here or here somewhere. Pictures, information. Take care. Have a good day. Bye, y'all.